Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chioma and this is Chioma in Bloom. So today I want to talk about what to do when the going gets tough using the story of Steph Curry, right? So from what I know about Steph Curry, growing up, he had always wanted to play basketball. His dad was a basketball player himself, and it was something that was just kind of part of the family, part of his life. But whenever he was in college, he was good, but he had a lot of doubters. Like he wasn't too good. Okay, actually in high school, he was good, right? He could shoot all these things, but he wasn't yet who we know today as Steph Curry. For one, he was kind of smaller than the other guys, right? He was skinny. Like, yes, of course, 6 feet is still tall, even though at the time, I'm not sure if he was 6 feet or not. It's still tall, but when you're competing with guys that are like 6'3", 6'4", 6'6", and they have a little bit more body, it can be kind of difficult. So people did not have a lot of faith in him as far as his career trajectory. In fact, I believe he had some problems even getting into like getting the schools that he wanted to pick him. So he ended up going to this kind of like unknown college, and he also had a hard time in that school, right? Like, yes, he could shoot, but he was constantly getting injured. But still, some people were able to recognize him being so good, right? Because I remember the person that was actually telling me about this, she was like, he was so good. Like, people that were already stars were coming to watch him play in college, right? Like people were coming to watch him play. Like LeBron, he was coming to watch him play. Like, okay, this is the future of the NBA, kind of, because like what he was doing with the 3-point shooting, it was kind of like not new, but to do it so consistently. And he had a lot of doubt on him for most of his career. Most of his career. If you go look into it, people just did not believe he could do it. Even when he finally made it into the league, which I think he got drafted like seventh. So I mean, not the worst, but also like not not like, oh, like we believe in you totally so much. So anyways, whenever he finally got drafted, even in the team, he was not getting proper respect and accolade. Matter of fact, he was not even playing as well because he was still getting injured. He was still getting injured, especially with his ankles. So in the league, he was getting undermined. People did not believe he could take the team, which is the Golden State, to the championships and win it, right? And even when KD came, which I think was maybe now about 10 years ago, KD got transferred into the Golden State and helped propel them to winning the championship. People were like, oh, it was KD, it was KD, it was KD. People were not giving him proper accolades. People were like, oh, Steph couldn't do it. KD this, KD that. Right. And I remember telling that person that was telling me this story that I honestly believe the reason he became so great was because of all the doubt he faced, right? Was because of all the people that like ignored him, looked down upon him, thought he wouldn't have a chance, that even though he was good, just thought he was too much of a risk to really take a gamble on, right? Whenever I was listening to his story, it felt like when you have something, like you have something to offer, but everywhere you look, no one is willing to give you a chance, right? Like everywhere you look, it's like, no, no, no. And I just feel like how heartbreaking that had to be. How heartbreaking that had to be for him to feel like nobody was willing to give him a chance, to feel like he would never be able to make it. And I feel like that inspired a fire within him. And that's actually what I want to talk about. Because when he was faced with all these doubts and all these impossibility, he didn't give up, right? He went into work. And I truly believe that it was in that time that he built his work ethic that allowed him to become the great athlete we know today, right? Like if he didn't face all this hindrance, he might never have just gotten the mindset that enables him to work and fight hard for his achievements, for his goals. Because sometimes you look at other basketball players, and even though, yes, they came from hard times and this, you would think they would continue to have that push, that fire. But the truth is, we get comfortable easily, right? Like, even if someone experienced a lot of hardships in their youth, if they get rich, get comfortable, they can easily lose their mojo, right? Like their fighting strength. And it's not to say, oh, you have to stay in survival mode so that, like, no, I'm not talking about survival mode. I'm talking about discipline and like mental strength to push through, to continue. Because he wasn't even raised like in the hood or nothing. Like I feel like he was from a middle income family. His dad was a basketball, so like I don't know how rich they were, but I don't think they were super rich, but they weren't also poor. Like they were good. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were good. They were making pretty decent money. They were good. So I feel like it wasn't because of some struggle from where they came from that pushed him. It was truly from within, right? Like it was truly him having the inner mindset, the inner conviction, that inner locus of control to be like, I'm going to be the best player I can be. And to really work to try to achieve that goal, right? And even I am trying to take a message or two from this, because sometimes when we experience hardships, it can be so easy to give up, to be like, oh, I guess it's not meant to be, or to be like, oh, I guess since I wasn't chosen, right? And to just be like, oh, I guess that's it. Well, I guess that's it. But it's like, no. Sometimes some things you should be willing to fight for, to be like, no, I want this. What else can I do? In what other ways? Because the truth is, the way he plays is different from like the typical way of playing, right? And so people were like, oh, all he does is shoot. All he does is shoot. But he had to find a way to make that valuable to the team that he's on. So much so that when he goes on the court now, people are like, oh my God, how do we block him? How do we prevent the shots? 2 people, 3 people on just him, trying to make sure that he doesn't get as many points. But guess what? He still does, because he developed his own style of playing, right? And more on like pushing. Sometimes even when people say no, it can still be important for you to go in and still press for a yes. This reminds me of a story I heard about Allen Iverson. He actually got into a little scuffle. Like he was a promising young athlete, and then he got into a scuffle because somebody had said the N word. They started arguing, and this was back in the day. Motherfuckers were still quite outwardly like racist. Like here now, I feel like it's more toned down in this day and age, but back then he was sent to jail, straight to jail. Okay. And he was supposed to serve 5 years, I believe. His mother went and pushed, and he was just lucky that the governor, I believe at the time, of Virginia was like black and was trying to, revamp the system and all these things. And actually, the governor was on his way out, and he pardoned Allen, right? And in the meantime, his mother, Allen Iverson's mother, had gone to a school coach, a college coach, and was like, please, 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 if he's able to get out of jail, will you take him? Will you take him? He is very good. This was just a mistake. This thing just happened. And the coach was like, yeah. And that's how we got the legend that is Allen Iverson, right? So it just reminds, sometimes it can feel like, oh, you're on an upward path, you're going, you're doing it. And then all of a sudden it's like, bam, you slam into a wall. And it's like, do you be like, oh, okay, I guess I have to go back now? Or do you like push through, right? Like, do you push through, try to make it to the other side and keep going on your journey? Because sometimes we might hit the wall, our confidence takes a hit, we feel like we can't do it, and we just give up. But there's also the option to just keep pushing, and to not give up, right? There's still always that option. So I'm just passing on this message. Okay, yeah, just bear with me for this video. This sun is doing a lot. Yeah. Okay. So like I was saying, so sometimes instead of giving up, push through. Instead of giving up, fight harder, right? Like instead of giving, and this is not to say, oh, you can't rest or you can't take a break or you can't just know when to drop it. You know, sometimes you just need to drop it, right? Like stop trying to make fetch happen. Like it's not gonna happen. But it's about knowing when to push through and try to make it happen and when to give it up and be like, you know what? It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We're good. So that's all I have to say for today. I just want to make a quick little video. And yeah. And just talk about, I feel like you should look more into his story if you're interested. It was definitely cool to hear about it, right? To hear about how somebody who nobody believed in could definitely make it through his own hard work, right? Like, because he went out of his way to practice to get his shots right so that he could be like indispensable to the team, right? So that he could be indispensable to the team. And I feel like that's what it's really about. Should I do it from all the way back here? Maybe I should do it from all the way back here so it's not in my face. Yeah. So when faced with obstacles, what should you do? Persevere. Persevere. That's all I have to say for today. Thanks for chatting with me real quick. Bye-bye. Mwah.